This has been the Big Tom West Show. Like, share, and subscribe, because that's what you're supposed to do. The Big Tom West Show, produced by thepodcastproshop.com and brought to you by Sneller Creative Promotions. Go to snellercreativepromotions.com. Tom West! Tom West! It's the Big Tom West Show, Tom West! It's the Big Tom West Show, music, guy, big, what's the West? Tom West! Tom West! Tom West!
And you got to tip the DJs, right?
Sure. There's nothing like going around dry humping nasty dudes for, I don't know, a better part of 9 hours. And then you go, get off, you go, what do you mean I owe $40? What? How did that work?
So,
because your ears could use some tickling. Here's more of the Big Tom West Show.
In Chicago, they were nothing. Like now I think they have like the Crazy Horse or whatever it is, like the same one that they have in New York, and they will go nude. But there was nothing more than like pasties.
So what do you know? It's the Big Tom West Show.
Right, in Chicago, but there was one place I think that had nude dancers, but there was no alcohol, and it was also like a porn theater or something like that. But so I had no frame of reference of strip bars, and you would think coming from Chicago there'd be a lot. No, there wasn't. I had no frame of reference of strip bars until I came down to St. Louis. And so I was out one night, we were in college, and these guys that were with are like, the bar's closing, let's go east. I'm like, okay. Hey, Tony's dating a stripper who works at a place called Simo's. I'm like, all right, I've got $4 in my pocket because I'm a college student, and they're like, don't worry about it. It's a key club. I'm like, what's a key club? There's no cover charge. Okay, you just have to be eligible to get in. I'm like, okay, sounds good. And there was another dude that was with us that had $0 in his pocket. So he was worried that there was going to be a cover. So we get there, and it's in the middle of, this was not what I would call a good area. I'm sure this is like Washington Park, something like that. There was nothing but burned out buildings.
First of all, time out. Are you in Washington Park or are you in Brooklyn? Which one are you in?
We're at a bar. We're a bar called Simo's, and I'm not sure where that is.
It was in Washington Park, just past Buncombe Road. You take a left. It was a big pink sign, and you had to walk up 3 flights of stairs. I know exactly what you're talking.
I do. I remember walking up the 3 flights of stairs to Simo's. I didn't know where I was because I was new. I was new to St. Louis. And I've never been back there.
The bouncer's name was Mo, by the way, just in case you were wondering.
So, we get there and when we go up and they check our IDs and there's no cover to get in. And one of the guys says, he goes, "Hold on. We're going to go get our friend from the car," because he was going to wait in the car all night in the middle of Washington Park until we were done hanging at the strip bar. And he said, "Oh, there's no cover. We're going to go get our friend from the car." And the bouncer looks at my buddy and says, "He's not an N-word, is he?"
No.
He's like, "No, he's not." He's like, "Okay, that's fine." So apparently the key club just meant they call it a key club just so they can deny entrance to whoever they want. You know what I mean? Supposedly. I mean, I can't imagine that you don't have to let people in if you don't want regardless. But, if apparently if a person of color wanted to come in, they would charge them an exorbitant amount to get into this dingy hole of a strip bar. So, and being the fact that this was my first strip bar in St. Louis, it was completely bizarre and in nowhere, shape, or form to the nicer ones that we would do the appearances at later on throughout our radio career here in St. Louis. But so we get in, and it is it's very interesting. There is
Is that what it was?
It's very interesting. So there's no DJ, but there's a jukebox. There's like one stage. Yeah. There's some tables. Our one buddy like sees his stripper girlfriend that he's kind of dating on the side.
Hey, there she is. She's working now, but she really likes me. I have a chance. Right.
So, he instantly goes and starts talking to her. And then there's a woman up on the stage who she was interesting. Like, I'm not sure where she would go. She was interesting.
You were questioning the fact that whether she was a woman or
a little bit of woman. I couldn't eat cottage. I didn't eat cottage cheese for at least a month after being there.
A lot of fupa and a lot of cottage cheese arm.
Yeah. There was, there's nothing wrong with that. I love me a curvy lady. However, I'm in college and this is my first real strip bar experience. So I have my $4 and I say, "How much are beers?" Well, you can get a can of beer. A can of beer is $2. So I buy.
What was this in '87?
This was 91.
All right, I'm close.
So 90.
$2 for a beer in a strip club. That's pretty good.
$2 for a can of Milwaukee's Best.
That's delicious.
Yeah.
Beer.
So I buy myself a can of Milwaukee's Best. And no, it was $2.25. So I buy my can of Milwaukee's Best for $2.25. I tip the bartender 75 cents, and I have $1 left for me that I can use for one of the lovelies on stage.
Who am I going to pick? Am I going to pick Cinnamon on stage 1, Escalade on stage 4, or shall I go with Champagne on stage number 3?
So my friends, they're like, "Come and sit up at the stage." So we sit up at the stage, and this girl does her dance and everything, and she goes around, and she proceeds to take the cigarette out of my buddy's mouth and puff on it with her naughty bits. I'm like, I didn't know you could do that. She's puffing on it with her pooter.
You just took the camel out of Joe's mouth and now you're smoking it through your snap. What?
Yeah, it became Joe Camel Toe. Is what it became. And so she's puffing on it with her pooter. I'm like, holy cow, that's freaking amazing. That's worth $1. I gave her my $1. I'm like, that was crazy. And I applauded her.
Congratulations. That's worth $1.
So now I know I'm out of money. I'm out. I step back and I just kind of meander about after this. And I'm drinking my $2.25 can of Milwaukee's Best, sipping it. And then there's other girls that are walking around with a change cup saying, give me change for the jukebox, change for the jukebox, change for the jukebox.
Jukebox. You want to give me change for the jukebox? Jukebox.
I'm like,
jukebox.
I'm sorry, don't have any money, ma'am. And so we're there for a while. And finally I'm like, okay, my Milwaukee's Best is done. I'm done seeing, and there's not a lot. There's probably only 4 dancers in the building. One's up on the stage and the other 3 are doing they're going up and, one's shaking the can for change and the other 2 are doing there's no champagne room. It's just go over here in the corner in the folding chair and I'm going to grind up on you while they play She's My Cherry Pie. And so I'm like, okay, I'm done. It's 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, let's just go. Let's get out of here. So,
and the shame and regret is starting to come over you at this point.
No. I have no shame or regret. I'm just tired and want to go, and I don't have any money to get beer or anything. So my friends are still sitting at they're sitting at the stage. So this young lady goes through and she does she finishes her dance and it's her turn to end, and she's going down the line of the guys who are sitting at the table and they're tipping her out, right? Well, I walk up just, after she's done, because I didn't want to be like, I wasn't sitting at the table, don't have any money to tip you, don't want to be part of it, So she comes down the line and I'm standing right behind my buddy. I'm like, hey, let's go. Like, all right, whatever. And, our other friend is making out with his stripper girlfriend in the corner. And the young lady who was on stage looks at me, and she's kind of like she's sitting down, and she takes her foot, and she kind of puts it on my chest, kind of playful, and she's like, give me $1. I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't have $1. She goes, give me $1. And she kind of taps me a little bit more on the chest with her foot. She's like, give me $1. I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't have $1. And she takes her foot and kind of puts it up by my mouth and my face and everything. And she's like, come on, give me $1. I'm like, I told you, I